Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. Hope everyone is doing good. For this video, I just wanted to hop on here and just kind of talk about, um, I guess, what I'm going through because I feel like there's a lot of people that can relate. Um, I graduated college over a year ago, have been working for the better half of a year, and I've just, doing this whole 9 to 5 thing for not even that long has made me realize a bunch of things, and I think it's worth talking about, and I think a lot of you can relate. So, yeah, to start things off, I want to go back to just briefly my college experience. I worked really hard in high school, and still had like some friends, but mostly didn't really have as much of a social life because of all the school I was so focused on. So when I got to college, I wanted to flip the script on that. I wanted to prioritize a social life while still, putting effort into school and getting good grades. But with that being said, like by my sophomore year of college, I was already burnt out of school because it was just homework tests and lectures for like 20 years. And, that wore down on me. And so, with that, I did have a great time in college. All the stuff you're supposed to do, I ended up doing, having fun, making lifelong friends, lifelong memories, whatever. But I gotta say, by the time I got to that last year, I was ready for a new chapter. I don't know about you guys, but I'm the kind of person that I like change. I need things to change to keep life interesting, to keep me going. So, every school I've gone to in my life, I was actually ended up being there for like 4 years. And by the fourth year, I was like, all right, I need something new. Like, this sucks. And maybe not sucks, but just like, this is boring. This is old. I want something new. With that being said, like, I cannot believe I felt this way about college because after I got back from like my last, vacation after I graduated, I came home to just, and the reality hit me like, I gotta find a job. And I'm sure all of you know who are in my shoes that sucked. I mean, the job market is just in a terrible place right now. And I went like 4 months, 5 months, like looking for a job. And it was just a humiliation ritual. I mean, I did all the things you're supposed to do. I went on LinkedIn, Indeed, Workday. Like, I went on all these places, wasn't even just applying for jobs. Like, I was doing the networking thing, trying to build a network, get connections, get into interviews, got my foot in like a good amount of doors, got recommendations from people at companies, and like, they went absolutely nowhere. Um, I just like going on LinkedIn and all those apps, like, just felt like I'm throwing my resume just into the void. I mean, 90% of the places I applied to, I just didn't hear anything back. Like, nothing. Not even like oh, we received your application, and like, just nothing. And, you know, it sucks. And it made me look back on college and just be like, what is the point of my degree? Like, it's useless, it feels like, and it's very frustrating. All of the hard work I put into school is just not accepted by anybody. And I know that, a lot of people are just like, hey, that's just the times right now. Like, the job market's really bad. It's not always going to be like this. But, you know, still going through it sucks. And it doesn't feel like hearing that doesn't really make you feel any better. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to find a job and like you can't, and it just kind of feels like all your hard work was kind of for nothing because of how bad that humiliation ritual of finding a job was. I had to look on Craigslist of all places for work, and that's actually where I found my job, which, like, like, yeah, it's nice I got a job, but the fact that I found it on Craigslist like did not feel good at all. Because I mean, it kind of like broke all the rules that you're taught in school. Like, oh, at least in college, like, just like make network, go on LinkedIn, go on Indeed, like it'll work out. I had to go on, I was so desperate, I had to go on Craigslist, and that sucked. And now that I'm, after I got that 9 to 5, I was just kind of like, okay, I felt good about having a job, and it like felt so good to like not have homework for the first time in my whole life. Just had to like, my day being over at 5. So for about like 5 months, I would just literally like go to work, go to the gym, and then do nothing else with my day. Like I got back into gaming because like, did a lot of that in high school. Didn't really do it much in college because I like wanted to prioritize like hanging out with people and making connections and experiences rather than like being locked away in a room or a couch just like playing video games all the time. But yeah, so I got back into gaming, well, when I started working, and it was nice for a while. I felt, but then as time went on, I it just didn't hit the same. Like I started to feel this level of guilt, and I didn't really know why at first, but now that I've had some time to look back on it, it just feels like my life was so like numbing. Like a 9 to 5, like even doing it for 5 months just made me feel numb. All the days blurred together. Like of course, like I would do stuff on the weekends with friends, but even like going out to the bar and spending a lot of money, like gets kind of old because like I'm trying to save money. Every time you go to the bar, you spend a good amount. But I still like make time for friends and stuff, but it's just that level of guilt there because it's just like my life isn't doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. And that was another harsh reality, you know? So now that I come to this realization that it doesn't feel like my life is going anywhere, I was just like, I'm doing research on like what else to do with my life, and a lot of the things I'm seeing is, do stuff from 5 to 9, be productive after work, even if you don't want to, and so that's what I started doing. But that's like such a like a terrible realization where society teaches you about this plan to have, you know, go to school, get a degree, and you'll be fine. And now it feels like if I just stick to the 9 to 5, I'm going to be a mindless corporate slave for the rest of my life. And it's just like, when that hit, that also sucked. Like, I don't want that. I do not want to do that. So, and then on top of that, I also realized, like I'm trying to get my finances in order, learn about how money works, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I don't know shit about anything. I went to school for all these years and I got this expensive degree, and they don't prepare you for anything, really. And which is like, for me, it's just been crazy realization after crazy realization since I've just started this 9 to 5 life. And the more I try to figure out like what more to do with my life outside the 9 to 5, it's just like I don't know shit about anything. And it's just ridiculous that we spend all this money for a degree only to realize that if I stick to the plan that society said I should, I'm not gonna end up where I was promised to be. And I'm not trying to make this video like super sad and downer. I'm just kind of speaking my thoughts. Like, of course, there's still things I can do, things you guys can do, things we can all do, but it's just like that realization just stings and it sucks. And it's something I feel like it's kind of a rite of passage nowadays. I know for sure I'm not the only one that um, has gone through that. So, but I do want to come on here and talk about it in case, you guys haven't seen anyone talk about it, or it's also a nice release for me for sure. But yeah, like now it just feels like this uphill battle, and I feel like it didn't used to be this way. Like you could follow the plan, and you'd end up in a good spot. But it's just now everything is different. Like I can't come home now and like do nothing and like not feel guilty about it, or like I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this as well, but like, video games are just a nice release for me. And the fact that now those don't hit the same sucks. And like, it's also a part of maturing, I feel like, where now you can't just like sit on your ass for 6 hours and like play COD or whatever, like back in middle school or high school, which is like a good thing, that like I don't feel like I can do that anymore. But the main thing I'm talking about is just purely relaxing at home just comes with a layer of guilt because now I feel like I just have to do more and more and more in order to be in a good spot. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely things I can do. Like when I come home from work, I try to learn something new every time. I mean, I'm not that good about it, but I try to be. And honestly, that's why I'm giving this YouTube thing a shot. I'm not coming on here to expect to make it big, but it's nice. For one, it allows me to vent. It's kind of a release for me, but also it's productive and it feels nice to like create something. I've never been the most artistic person and a creator really. So I feel like giving this a shot could be good for me and I could learn a lot. And I just also want to come on here and let you guys know anyone that's in my shoes, like take a deep breath. Like I know this is a crazy time for people our age right now, but just, take a deep breath, slow down, and like you can do this. Like you can lock in. There are things you can do. Just make sure you're putting the right stuff in your mind, always trying to do something productive or something to improve yourself each and every day, whether it's just like trying to eat healthy, go to the gym, trying to learn something new on your own accord. As long as you do that, I think you can end up in a good place. And I just want to come on here and let you guys know that you're not alone. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I just wanted to thank you, everyone who watched, for making it to the end. It really means a lot to me that, you guys clicked on this video and decided to watch it and just listen to me yap. As you can see in my name, my channel name, I do like to yap. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' experience with this and any realizations you may have had like after graduating college in this time, or even maybe if you're not my age, like what happened at your time, or if you're younger, like what you're nervous about in the future. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear them. But leave a like if you enjoyed. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much. Everyone take care and have a good one.